If you say you be giant for your pocket. If you only fight for your pocket, for your pocket. October 2020, something happened with the government. That is say we forget for where? For Zumba, by the way. Man, I tell ya, I know they move that way. I know they move that way.
Welcome
Don't make
and
me move that way.
to interest. You are doing well today. It's going to be a quick but amazing session, and I'm glad that we can share this together. I know that many of you were registered, perhaps business people. From everything from the records that we're seeing, you're business people, and or you're working as a customer service personnel, or you're working within an organization, but your goal is to be able to serve people better. And I've got a couple of things to share with you this evening from my own experience and from some best practice that I'm sure is going to really help you. I'm going to jump right into it if you don't mind. My name is Demi. It will be my pleasure to meet you and speak to you a little bit more. And then I'll try to take some questions at the end of this as well, but I'm going to run straight into the presentation and give you as much value. What I'm going to be doing this evening is sharing stories, right? Sharing some of my own experiences, sharing some of those best practices in the hope that you can translate some of those lessons into your own business or your own project or your own pursuit. If you're a business person, you know that customers, sales, and profits are the language that you want to be speaking, because if you're not speaking customers, sales, and profits, then you're not in business, right? And so that's what we're going to chat about briefly this evening. And I'll share with you an exciting, amazing opportunity that's happening in Nairobi next week on the 22nd and 23rd. That's going to help you really accelerate your business in terms of the customer service and use that to bring more profits into your business and more sales, of course. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. So today we're talking about how best customer service can increase sales and profits for your business or for your organization. Now, to get us started today, the first thing I'm going to show you is stories of the people that I and my team have been able to serve over these years, because I don't want you to just take my word for it. I'm not going to be telling you theory, but I'm going to show you strategies that we have used over and over again to guarantee repeat business and to bring in tens of thousands of dollars recently and over the years, right? In fact, if I go over the several years we've been doing some of our business, I will go into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And some of what we've done is actually not even just new customers, but from many of the customers that have bought with us over and over again, or that have patronized us. So just a quick snapshot, if you look at two testimonials that some of our clients here have left for us, amongst many testimonials, actually. This is one of our clients from Scotland on a project we worked with, and we've worked for them on, it's called the CCT19 project. And they talk about working with Amplify on our website for our research project was a breeze. Damien and his team worked with our vision, and they were always happy to provide advice on how best to realize it. They are very responsive and professional, and we couldn't be happy with the final product. Now, when I read things like this, it gladdens my heart. And I'm going to tell you some more about how this has led to more sales and profits for us. But I want you to know something about these testimonials. And there are lessons that maybe you're already using in your own business, but you can also put into your own business as well. Now, the second testimony says, great company with humble, flexible, and responsive personalities. Now, these two people don't know each other, but they're talking about one thing. They're talking about responsiveness, and this is critical for customer service, as you will find out, because if you are not responsive, you're going to lose your customers. That it is just a rule. Customers expect you to be responsive. Now, it is clear to me that Amplify's value equation ranks customer satisfaction highest. Now, this customer is telling us that it appears that the highest thing we want is not just a profit, but customers. Because guess what? When you rank customer satisfaction highest, then the profits come in. He said, this was my experience, and I will recommend them to anyone looking for a combination of technical expertise and responsiveness. This is a client from Lagos, and he gave this testimonial without us having to influence him, in the sense that we didn't tell him what to write. We simply said, hey, tell us about our services. And that's important. You need to be collecting these testimonials, especially when you know you've done a great job for your customer, and you need them to be telling you how they experience your service, but getting the feedback as well that can let you improve. Now, these customers also had feedback for us, great feedback, but they were actually wowed with the service that we had, and it led to more sales, led to more profits. All right. So why customer service excellence? Just to get us started. Somebody said, I think this was Peter Drucker, who's called the father of management. It says the goal of the business is to make a customer. And what does that mean? As a business, you want to have a customer, because a customer is somebody who buys not just once, but buys over and over again. Now, if you think about people buying from you over and over and over again, you will think about them differently. You will not treat them the same way you would treat somebody who wants to buy from just once. I've met people that I've done business with, and the way they treat me, I just know they want to collect the money this one time from me. They're not thinking about whether I will be interested to do business with them again. Guess what? If you follow that route, you are going to be spending money on sales and chasing customers for life. Because once you have great customers that love your product and believe in you, guess what? They're going to repeat purchase, and then they are going to refer you. You see what I mean? And then you're going to have what is called customer retention. And that is super, super critical. So we'll talk about some of this in terms of the strategies that will help you continue to help your business thrive. Also, satisfied customers are your best form of marketing. This is one thing I've experienced. When somebody likes your work or they like what you do for them, they're going to tell other people, you know what I mean? And even though they don't tell, there's something about customer. If you do wrong, a lot more people are going to tell somebody, but if you do right, there are going to be fewer people. So for example, I think the ratio is 3-8 or 2-8. That means when you serve your customers well, 2 customers or 3 customers will tell people without you having to bother. But when you don't serve them well, 8 times or 8 customers will tell people. Imagine, people will probably tell more people when they are not served right than when they are served right. So your goal is to use the leverage in your advantage to say, we want to serve people right, so that we have, even if it's those 2 or 3 people who are able to tell others about us and the great work we're doing. Now, great customers help your business grow. That is the truth. They're going to help your business in many different ways. They're going to refer people to you, but they're also going to be your source of cash flow, so that your business can stay afloat and so that your business can continue to move forward. Importantly, great customers will give you feedback that will help you improve your service, not just for them, but for other people. Right. So whether you're working as a business owner, you're working in a department, it's important to know that great customers can help you to grow your business through what they say, through what they do, and how they continue to give you that feedback. Importantly, great customers bring you satisfaction. See, this is a very important point. Now, I'm going to say this: not everybody is your customer, and you shouldn't aim to make everybody your customer, because some customers are going to be hard to please. They're going to be hard to serve. They're not your right target market. You're going to stress yourself so much, and you're still going to lose a lot when you're serving them. Now, I'm not saying disrespect people, but you need to understand, right? Business is almost like a contract. You have people that you have decided to serve, and they value what you're bringing to the table. So there's some customers who don't value what you're bringing to the table. You're not the right person for them. And what's going to happen is that business is going to continue. It's a mismatch, because it's going to keep giving you problems and issues. There should be a mutual relationship where it comes to customer service and enjoying customers. And that is what happens with great customers. Now, just a bit about myself. You're wondering, who am I? I've talked about a number of things. I've shown you some of the customers we've served and some of the responses or the feedback that they've given. My name is Dimlade Oluoshina. I'm originally Nigerian, but I'm based here in Kigali, Rwanda, with my family, where I also work and do business. And over the course of more than 8 years, I have done business, I've run business across a number of different spaces, from digital to design to marketing, learning, innovation, entrepreneurship, and training. I'm in the service business mostly, but importantly as well, I've also run, alongside with my wife, a food business, which was thriving here in Rwanda. I also ran that part of that business in Mauritius. So when I look at the places where I've done business and I've served customers, there's a lot of places: Nigeria, Mauritius, Kenya, UK, USA, Rwanda, Dubai, the list goes on. I've done engagements in China, I've done engagements in Ghana, I've done engagements in South Africa with other customers who have enjoyed my service. So when I'm talking to you from a global perspective, and having seen different kinds of customers and seeing different kinds of people from across the board. People are in many ways the same. They expect different, similar kinds of things, and you can leverage on that to make sure that you have a consistent customer experience that serves people to the very best. Now, I've served more than 100 businesses. In fact, I think very much more than that after this several years. So I can tell you, after having served more than 100 or more than close to 200 or even more businesses, customers want similar things, and we need to know how to give them. Some of our brands, many of the brands I've served, as you might notice, are global, right? And so whether it's local or global brands, there's something we can say about that. Now I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to tell you stories, and I'm going to share case studies with you, short case studies, and just highlight a number of lessons about how you can use customers to drive sales and more profit. Now, the first case study I'm going to share with you is one of our clients from Nigeria. And what did we do for this client? We basically helped this client translate our book from the book into a learning curriculum, into a global learning curriculum. We are learning innovation. So one of our things we do is learning innovation and learning design and curriculum design and training and facilitation. And so we had this client come up to us and say, hey, I have a school who have requested that they want my book to be part of what their students are learning, because I have a great book called Lagos to London, but I don't know how to go about it. I don't know how to figure out how this would be something that students can learn from apart than reading the book. And you know what? We welcomed that challenge. We welcomed that idea. And even without charging the customer money at the start, we began to give our ideas. We began to share. We began to show the customer, and I want to say this, we began to show the customer that we were on their side, that we were going to help them figure out this challenge and help them make it a profit. And within 3 or 4 weeks, we had completed a job. We put all our team's resources on it. Now, whether that was the most profitable project or not wasn't our concern. What we really wanted to do was to help this customer find that solution. And guess what? When this book came out, it was featured in global media. Look at some of the media snippets. You can see Business Day, and they talk about the curriculum, and you can see my name right there, founder of Learnable Global, and the work that we did. And the author of the book appreciated this so much, put our name against the curriculum content, and was happy to refer us to other people to do this work. And of course, came back to us for some other jobs in logo and visuals design. And since then has continued to consult with us and continue to find ways to collaborate together. Now, when you think about this kind of happy customer, it's endless. This kind of happy customer can bring us 5 new customers. Look at cheap media that we didn't pay for, right? Because of what we did with and for this customer. And she felt right to include us in the media showcase of this to thousands and thousands of eyes that is going to generate new business for us. Now, will that have been, again, like I said, it might not have been a super profitable project, but look at the kind of impact that we're having, but also look at the kind of value. So number of things in turning customer service excellence to sales and the profit. You want to be looking at the long game. You want to really help people beyond just selling to them and getting money out of their pockets. You want to help them solve a problem. You want to, number 3, you want to show them that you are in this together, and you want to build that kind of relationship. You want to solve your problem. You want to make them know that you are the solution to the problem they have. People will only buy from you when they know that you are the solution to the problem they have. So importantly, we are here to solve customers' problems. Okay, I hope you took some lessons from that. Case study number 2, also a client in Nigeria, and we've seen this case study and this testimonial before. Again, this client he wanted something very bespoke in terms of an e-commerce ready website that he could use for his growing chain. So the chain has a supermarket, it has a bakery, it has a pharmacy, it has a number of other things. You see what I mean? And he came to us and said, hey, I need to work on this website, but this is what I want. Now, we sat with this customer, we understood what he wanted, and we were not afraid to make changes as many times as possible. We listened to whatever he wanted, and we made sure that even though we had ideas, we helped to accomplish his vision. As people who do business, never forget this. You're there to help your customers accomplish their vision, accomplish their goals and their desires. It has to be a win-win relationship. If your customer is going to pay you money, they have to know that you are willing to help them accomplish the vision that they have to accomplish. And when you look at his response, you see he says, great company with humble, flexible, and responsive personalities. It's clear to me that their value equation ranks customer satisfaction the highest. Now, for you to thrive with customers, you have to make sure customer satisfaction is high. That is, you have to go the extra mile, do what you need to do, and help customers feel like they are valued when you're serving them. Now, that's case study 2. Case study 3, this is a client all the way from the UK in Scotland. And we've been working with this client for months. And if I say maybe like a year on a long-term project, and it wasn't just a website, even though he talks about the website here, there's a documentary that we're doing for them, that we've done. There's training and consultancy for some of the members of their team we've done. There's social media advertising. One thing has led to the other. Guess what? This client even gave us money for a project that they have not even executed, because they were like, you know what, we want you to do it. So take the money, and when we are ready to execute the project, we are going to execute it. Again, what made that happen? It was the attention to details. It was treating the customer right. It was being a solution provider. It was working hand in hand. You see, some of these things that I'm telling you, they might look simple, but many places that I go to today, I find very poor customer service where people just want to get money out of your hands. They're not patient. They don't care if they have served you or not. Recently, I asked somebody to do something for me, and I spoke with him for about 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And just to clarify the brief that he had given me for his services. And then I said, okay, I'm not ready for this service. I need to find more information, because this is a sensitive project you're doing for me, and I can't just rush into it, okay? And all of a sudden, this person comes back to me and starts quoting amounts, ridiculous amount. And I was like, for what? For the clarification I asked of you, or for a service you're ready to render? Mind you, had quoted an amount for the service, which we said when we were ready we were going to take. But then he started to charge me for the time that we spoke, about 20 to 30 minutes, just to understand the services better. Now, when you do that to a customer, you know what you're telling them? You're telling them all you want is their money. If you want to charge a customer for an information session, you need to tell them early on. But you have to realize that when you are selling to a customer, you have to first take them through the process of resolving their doubts. They have objections, they have options, and they need to know you are the best customer. Of course, I'm not saying you do that forever, but you need to spend time to do that. So you charging customers for that is ridiculous, because you haven't delivered anything to them that nobody has delivered to them. In fact, this was a service that I was Googling the internet for, and I was learning a lot of things myself that I didn't have with the conversation in this person. So this is critical. Now, when you look at what this client says, it says they were always happy to provide advice on how best to realize it. We weren't charging them and saying, hey, for every advice, for every 30 minutes, for every 1 hour, we're going to get on a call with you, we're going to charge you extra. When you do that, your customers run away and you want to keep your customers coming back. Advice is one of the freest things. Of course, if advice is what you're selling, then you have to quantify that and know what advice that you can give for free and the one you have to charge for. And then the final case study I'm going to share with you, this is another institution in the US, and we worked on them with several projects, from training for leaders to creation of an entrepreneurship toolkit for senior leader advising. Sorry, not social media advertising. We didn't do social media advertising, but of course we did do trainings, we did do workshops, we did do advising and all that. And believe you me, that relationship has just led to one project after the other. And everywhere this client sees us, they tell people about how amazing we are. And sometimes when you think about it, these are the kinds of projects and the kinds of business where sometimes you don't even have to do the marketing because a new job is going to come along the way. So, having learned from those case studies and some of the things that we have just talked about, I'm going to share a few strategies with you. I'll talk to you about the realities of today's customers, and then I'm going to share with you a few strategies, and then what I said will be a great advantage for you if you're able to make it next week in Nairobi. Now, the realities of today's customers, especially in the digital ages, number one, your customer is highly informed. Your customer has a phone, they have Google on their fingertips. So they are going to find out about your product, about your competitors, about everything. And there's very little you can tell them. So if you are not using other strategies to serve and reassure customers, you are not going to really be able to win customers because they know everything. They know a lot, maybe not everything, but they have access to information. Now, doing business online, and especially with new businesses online, it sets a great expectation. Because you see, we live in the reviews world where the what another person trusts about your business is what somebody else has said as a review. So if somebody doesn't give a good review, for example, if they give you 2 stars or 1 star, that affects your business. Now, people trust other people's words for what they're going to do with the business. If you've ever put a house on Airbnb before, you know that you want to get all the good reviews. Because for me, when I travel, before I choose an Airbnb, I look at all the reviews. Once I see a review where it says the host was very nasty to us, the host did not treat us well, and I read it like 2-3 times, guess what? I'm not booking that Airbnb. Now, that is how customers are today, and they feel very free to share their mind on social media, to speak about things to people and all that. And because that is the way new media has created the platform. And whether on new media or whether in person, customers are going to share their mind. So you need to be mindful of that. Now, customers expect instant service. That's the reality. So customers expect that whatever you're doing for them has to be done today or yesterday. Why? Because at the touch of a button, they can get an Uber or a boat or a Taxify. At the touch of a button, they can get food delivered. You see? So there's at the touch of a button, they can get products sent to them from an e-commerce store. There is that instantaneous expectation. So when you're doing stuff for customers, you have to understand as well that many customers think that things should be faster and instant. And your product or your service might not always be an instant product. So you need to help customers understand the process. Now, also, customers have a lot of options to choose from, a lot of competitors. If you pick up your phone right now and you wanted a certain service, right, or a certain product, you are going to find tons of options, and that's the same for your customers. So what's going to be different about you when you engage and serve with your customers? Now, having said that, that's just a few. There's a lot more realities of today's customers that we will talk about in an upcoming training that I'm going to share with you about. Now, what are some of the success factors that I might talk to you about a bit, but in the upcoming training, we're going to break some of this down. Some of the customer service success factors, there are a lot of strategies, but let me share a few things with you. Number one is emotional intelligence. Now, ask yourself, do you know what emotional intelligence is? Are you emotionally intelligent when you deal with your customers? You see, when customers talk about things like responsiveness, listening, understanding, they are talking about emotional intelligence. That is, you understand your emotions, you understand the emotions of your customer, and you're able to use that to serve them or to resolve issues with them. I've met many people that sell and they go head to head with customers right away. Even sometimes you're wondering, why are they so aggressive? Are they not trying to sell to me? What happens after a while is that you're going to continue losing the customers. They're not going to come back. Now, the other thing that is a success factor is how you think about customers and how you plan your customers. There's a thing called customer lifetime value in business planning. And this is essentially saying a customer, and you remember when I said earlier on that a customer would buy, is the goal of a business is to pay customers. A customer can buy from you for years. You see what I mean? Without even and you continue to have customers buying from you for years, right? Because that's what is called the customer lifetime value. So when you have that thinking that you are going to have customers for a longer time than just one purchase, it changes the way that you think about serving your customers. It changes the value that you put on customers. You see what I mean? So a long-term thinking and an approach to customer lifetime value is critical when you're thinking about customers. Like I said, these are strategies, these are things that we're going to talk about in the fuller training, but I'm mentioning them right now. The other thing that is a success factor is your ability to resolve conflicts with your customer. Now, if you realize what I was saying earlier on in some of the other case studies and examples that I had shared, conflicts will happen. Even though those customers gave us great reviews and they were very satisfied with our products, there were some of them that sometimes we would have issues with and we would need to resolve them. Now, how do you resolve conflicts, right? There's a process for conflict resolution where, people talk about the customer is king. And usually most customers come with that perspective. They have that entitlement. So when a customer comes to you and they are trying, and there is a conflict, now that is not the time that you want to meet conflict with conflict. This is where the emotional intelligence comes in. Just recently, I went to my internet service provider and I had issues with my internet. And there's something that I thought the company had done that they didn't do well, that I thought they were passing on the cost to me as a consumer that they didn't need to pass on to me. Now, I spoke to one customer service provider, one of the attendants, and this was a very calm person, and he was just listening to my frustrations and me talking about my complaints and all that. And I said, okay, even though you can't solve what I am telling you about, can I speak to your managers? And even though I couldn't speak to his managers, it was very calm-headed in the way that he responded. Now, while we were talking, there was another attendant there. And as I was sharing my frustration, this other attendant was just looking at me very straightly, in fact, sometimes rolling her eyes. Now, this attendant takes a salary from the business. She doesn't understand that our bosses who employed her in the business want to serve customers because I'm paying to the business. I'm giving money for a service. So if I'm not satisfied, the business needs to understand that, and they need to meet me midway. They need to let me know what is realistic or not realistic, but also meet me midway in solving that conflict. But I saw these two different personalities working in the same place. One had the understanding that there is a way you respond to a customer. You don't meet conflict with conflict, right? You don't meet anger and frustration with anger. You listen. But then there was this other person who was just like, what's this customer even saying? And if she was the only one there that day when I was asking for the service, I would probably have changed my service provider. I probably won't buy from that company anymore. But because of this other customer who had a very efficient way or effective understanding of how to resolve conflicts, I'm still buying from that company. Now, the other thing that's critical as a success factor is proactive communication. Oh, my, how important this is. Many times there are, especially in the service-based business, there are times when a service provider is not able to meet up, say, with a deadline or with a promise or with something that they've promised that they were going to offer the customer, and they never communicate to the customer. Now, proactive communication is not only when you're going to be late on a task or you're going to be late on a deliverable, is how you engage the customer to build trust and confidence over time. And what I mean by proactive communication is you have to plan the communication. So you have to understand that one thing customers need from you is reassurance. And so even when the job is going well, you have to plan continuous communication in such a way that it reassures them and helps them see the progress. Because the customer many times might not be able to see what you're doing, especially if it's a service-based business and it takes a period of time or project. But you need to understand, how do I communicate with them at the beginning? How do I communicate with them at different stages? Openness. I know there are some service providers, they don't want you to see what they're doing, but you have to be willing to communicate proactively and to give feedback. That builds a bond with you where the customer trusts you. Even at the end of the day, even if your product or your service is great and you have a great service, if you don't communicate proactively with the customer, you're not going to build trust. It's going to be hard to really build trust. And more so, proactive communication is critical when you are when you are maybe defaulting or when you're delaying. It's important to confront the issue. Don't wait until the customer says, hey, what happened? I've lost all trust in you. Give your word before it gets to that stage, and then correct it along the way and manage it. Even there are times, and I've been in this, and we've all been in this in business, where you promise a customer something, and because your supplier, for example, doesn't provide that thing on time, or your team doesn't provide that solution on time, and it keeps lagging, the date keeps going, you have to be able to manage that conversation with the customer. The most important way is to have proactive communication and let the customer understand what is happening and be honest with them. That way, you will not only save a sale, you will save a relationship. Don't forget, it's about customer lifetime value. It's not about just one sale. It's very myopic to think, oh, all I need to do is sell once to this customer. But you have to treat your customers like they are going to bring you a lot more money, a lot more business. Now, what are recommendation and referral strategies? Remember when I told you at the beginning that one of the things we do with our customers is we ask for them to give us referrals, or we ask them to give us recommendation. That is a super easy way to build your business. But in order for you to do that, you have to have served the customer well, because you won't be confident to ask for a referral or a recommendation if you messed up the service, if you messed up the product, if you were too anxious for money and you lost trust with the customers. You know, there are customers today that I can go to and that we've gone to, and we ask them to refer people to us. We can confidently say so. Like I was sharing in some of those reviews, you can see that even there are customers who will not hesitate to refer us. Like you can see this customer on the right, for example, was like, great company with humble and responsive personalities. It is clear to me that Amplify's value equation ranks customer service satisfaction highest. This was my experience, and I will recommend them to anyone looking for a combination of technical expertise and responsiveness. Now, we didn't ask them to recommend us, but guess what? Because of the service that they got from us, they are saying, I'm going to recommend them. And you know what? They've recommended us. They've used us for other services. And so you need to be conscious of the fact that you also need to have that recommendation and refer. Like you see those quotes that we put up there, we intentionally ask customers to provide them for us because we want to share them with new customers or potential customers as a way to build business for us. And then there are a ton of other systems and strategies that we can go into more detail, and we can show you how it works, how to build this into your business. We might not be able to do that tonight, but the good news is we're going to be able to do that on the 23rd of July in a very exciting all-day workshop. Right, we're going to do, and so this is telling you, like I said at the beginning, we're having an all-day workshop in Nairobi. Right now, I'm in Kigali, but I've got a team of great collaborators and individuals on the ground in Nairobi together where we're running this customer service excellence workshop, which is going to be experts, people who have been 20 years in business, in customer service, and they've been working all through myself, who has served more than 100 customers and close to 200 customers across the different businesses I've done. We will sit down with you in person, not virtually as I'm speaking to you right now. And we will have a great time of actually learning some of these strategies and transforming customers into the best marketing strategy for your business. And I'm sure that you're looking forward to it. So just to give you a bit more details before I round off this webinar and see if there are any questions that I can attend to. This is called the Customer Service Excellence Live Training. And the Customer Service Excellence Live Training is happening on Saturday, the 23rd of July in Nairobi, Kenya, in IET. IET is the Innovation and House of Technology in Kilimani in Nairobi, and it is on Dennis Pritch Road. It is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So like I said, we're going to have a whole day of actually breaking down strategies that can help you to grow your business through customers. Now, what I just shared with you is the tip of the iceberg. It's a very tip, but we're going to have a whole day of training just to show you who is going to be training you. Myself, again, I'm going to be there. And like you can see, I'm an entrepreneur and business owner, but I'm a corporate trainer and speaker who has trained and collaborated in more than 10 countries and in 4 continents. I do management consulting and digital business transformation. I've also authored books, and some of my clients, like I showed you, are right here. But also, like I said, I've served close to 200 businesses or more, and I still serve more businesses. And here's my co-trainer, who is an amazing human resource expert and master trainer. She has experience, you see, more than 20 years combined experience in customer service and more than 15 years experience in banking in the industry. And she's a master facilitator in customer experience, leadership, people management, communication skills, strength development, change management, talent management, and a lot more. These are practitioners. We are not trainers that are just going to tell you the theory. We're going to tell you things that we've done, things that have worked for us, and it's going to be an amazing day. So we're going to be together for 5 hours. Now, this is Saturday, 23rd of July, a little bit away from a week from now. Like I said, it's an IET. And guess what? It's at a very affordable price, 7,900 Kenyan shillings per person. If you are a business person that really wants to grow, I told you some of those strategies that I shared with you have helped those to have tens of thousands of dollars of repeat businesses. Now imagine spending $79 to learn strategies that can help you potentially, depending on your business, attract thousands of dollars. Imagine you learn a strategy or you learn some strategies for $79 and you get $790 or $1,000. That is a 10-fold increase. That's the kind of thing we want to share with you. Guess what? We're not only going to be giving you training, there's going to be lunch and there's going to be a certificate of completion. If you're really serious about improving your customer service and growing your business, you don't want to miss this. Now, importantly, if you register by 18th of July, you're going to get a 10% discount. Okay, so you're not just going to pay 7,900. We're going to crash down the price by 10%. And guess what? Because you are watching this webinar, you are attending this webinar, or you are watching the recording, if you reach out to me that you watch this webinar, I'm going to get a special gift for you when I come to Nairobi. Like I told you, I'm in Kigali, but I'm going to come to Nairobi. So this is an expert-led customer service excellence training to help you increase your sales and your profit. Make this investment in yourself, okay? Make this investment in yourself. It will be exciting to share more experiences and more stories and more practical strategies with you on that day, right? And so to register, all you need to do is to go to bit.ly/register capital WCKE. Just go to the link bit.ly/register capital WCKE, and you can make payments on M-Pesa. So simply 9773517, and the payment name is Plan B Premier. And so if you make payments, we're gonna sign you up immediately. We're going to give you more information, and we're going to see you at the venue on the 23rd of July. And so this is a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. I'm looking forward to meeting you together with my co-trainer who is amazing, and she's going to be ready to share with you some deep strategies that will help you really grow and build your business. So do not miss this. My name is Demi. I've shared with you some of these case studies. I hope you learned one or two things from them. I hope they help you to grow your business. I hope that, even when we do good customer service, we are making the world a better place because we are treating people well when people do business with us. So it's been a great time sharing with you. I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to see if there are any questions. I'm just going to pause for a bit and try to answer some questions. But again, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, the 23rd of July. It's at Aid Kilimani. What are you waiting for? Don't miss the discount, right? If you want to reach out to me or ask me anything, please feel free to email hello@learnableglobal.com. Hello@learnable. Learnable is LEARNIBLE global.com. But then you're getting a lot for your 7,900 Kenyan shillings. The training plus lunch plus your certificate. And guess what? I shared with you some strategies, but there is a lot more practical things that you can do and other systems that you can integrate into your business and into your mindset to serve customers better. Again, if you watch this webinar and you register through this link, I'm going to get a special gift for you and meet you in Nairobi. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to work with you on your business. Thanks again. The link is bit.ly/small register and capital WCKE. I'm going to stop this very well, and thank you so much for your attention, and try to see what questions I might be able to answer right here. Thank you.